Hi, my name is Rachel Hankey and I'm a junior at Lehigh University. I study Earth and Environmental Science.
Hi, my name is Kaylin Swartz. I'm also a junior at Lehigh and I'm studying chemical engineering and business.
We just wanted to let you know how important math is to our everyday lives. When I was your age, math was my favorite subject because it just made a lot of sense. There was always a right answer or a wrong answer. When I'm in school now, I use math nearly every day, whether it's calculating percentages or it's using algebraic principles. It always comes up and it keeps coming back.
As a chemical engineer, I also use a lot of math in all of my classes. Math is really important, and even though it might seem hard and challenging right now, what you're learning in school right now is really the fundamentals for higher level college classes, and it really doesn't get super hard. I'm still using things that I learned when I was your age in math class, so definitely take advantage of everything that your class is offering and learn as much as you can now because it'll help you a lot in the future. So today we're here to teach you about 3 different properties: the commutative property, the distributive property, and the associative property. First, we're going to start with the commutative property. The word commute means to go back and forth from one place to another. So let's say every day you go to school, you go back and forth from your home to school, and it switches back and forth. You might be at school for a little bit and then you go home for a little bit. So an example of the commutative property is this. 4 plus 5 is also equal to 5 plus 4. This is addition, and addition follows the commutative property. Similarly, multiplication follows the commutative property. So you have 4 times 5, which is also equal to 5 times 4. However, subtraction and division do not follow the commutative property. 5 minus 4 does not equal 4 minus 5, because 5 minus 4 is 1, and 4 minus 5 is negative 1. Similarly, division does not follow the commutative property. If you have 10 divided by 2, the answer is 5. Whereas if you have 2 divided by 10, the answer is 1/5. And those are obviously not equal, therefore division is not following the commutative property.
The next property is distributive property. Distribute means to pass something out. So for example, if your teacher is distributing papers, that means she's handing out a paper to each one of you. So when it is applied to math, the distributive property passes whatever on the outside of the parentheses to what's on the inside of the parentheses. So for example, the distributive property, 6 with a bracket, 3 plus 2, means that the 6 is distributed to the 3 and then distributed to the 2. So what it really means is 6 times 3 in a bracket plus 6 times 2 in a bracket, which would equal 6 times 3 is 18, and then 6 times 2 is 12, so those added together would be 30.
The last property we want to talk about is the associative property. To associate means the people that you hang out with. So let's say you're in the cafeteria and you stay with a group of friends. That's your group, and the group is really important with the associative property. So you have 2 numbers in parentheses, and that's going to be what you have, the multiplication or division that you have to do first. So Rachel's going to give you an example.
So for example, you're in the cafeteria and you have, pretend it's your circle, so you have to do that first. So if you have the equation in parentheses 12 divided by 3, and then outside the parentheses is divided by 2, that is not the same as 12 divided by, in parentheses, 3 divided by 2. They're not the same because in the first part you have to do 12 divided by 3 first, which would give you 4, and then 4 divided by 2 equals 2. The next part, the next equation that I gave you that did not equal the first one was 12 divided by parentheses 3 divided by 2. In that case, you have to do 3 divided by 2 first, which would give you 1.5, and then if you took 12 divided by 1.5, you get 8. And so that shows from the answers that we got at the end, 2 does not equal 8, so the associative property is really important that you follow. We hope you learned a lot today, and we hope that this little mini video gives you a head start on your lesson.
Just remember that math is super important, and it's really, you can use it in almost any job that you might have in the future. So keep on learning and have a great day in class.
Be nice to Miss Girl.